Alrighty, everybody. Let's focus on Chase Reiner's little SEO strategy for ranking national keywords. So, his strategy involves this, and I'm going to pull up my good friend Microsoft Paint. It's basically, it's a fairly simple strategy, actually, and it's one that I genuinely, right off the bat, I'm going to tell you, I like it because it works so well. Basically, it's, you have your target keyword, and you basically make a bunch of supporting content. That's really it, all it is in a nutshell. I have a little bit of a better way of doing it. I don't want to be like cocky or arrogant or anything like that, but I think I found a better way of doing it. So this is his method, basically, in a nutshell, at least from what I gather from his YouTube videos. You have the target keyword, and then you have supporting content 1, so we're just going to call that supporting content 1. Supporting content 2. Let's style this a little bit. Supporting content 3. And then you have post number 1, post number 2, and post number 3. So this is his idea. Your first step is to, and I'm going to open up a notepad. I have so many notepads open. The first step is to use Ahrefs or SEMrush. I think now he's big on that. Honestly, you can even use like Ubersuggest if you're broke. I started out with Ubersuggest and Keywords Everywhere before it became a paid tool, but if you have the money, use Ahrefs. If not, you know what, Ubersuggest. If you're a broke boy and you're just starting out, this will do just fine. Pick a keyword with a difficulty of 0. And, obviously with a high volume. You're unlikely to get like 1,000, 10,000 search volume key phrase with a difficulty of 0, but you could still reach a few hundred. And then from there, you're gonna want to take inventory and competitor research. So let's start this off right off the bat, and I'm just gonna show you what I've got, raw numbers, nothing, no hiding anything, no nothing like that. This is what I got. I'm ranking for these key phrases. Alright? Now, I got this site going, God, I think it was like around December? I don't even know. So if you want to find out how old the site is, you can just go on like a whois, and then you can just type in the domain. So make sure that I'm not exposing myself to anything like my address or anything. Alright, so I made it on the 24th of November 11th. And I didn't touch it until really beginning of April. You see when it says like total keywords? So apparently it's had a total of 1 keyword, but that's not true because it did not. Basically, it was around April, I want to say, I started to do work on it. In fact, you know what? This is how you can tell. I think my first blog was Is Modern Hebrew. Yeah, so April 8th was the first blog I made. And in the time that it's been April, so that was about 4, now it's about 2 months. I grew from having 0 users, 0 traffic to about 78 users a month with about 190 keywords. As you can see, my domain rating is pretty much 1. And the only backlinks I have are from my own site. I just referenced it real quick on my jcsearch.com site. So if you want to take a look at the traffic, it's literally just steadily increasing. There's no dip whatsoever. It is insane. And this is using Chase Reiner Strategy with a little bit of modification. Now, if you look at like Chase Reiner, I don't even know what he does anymore. I used to follow him when he was I think he was talking about national SEO. It was more like affiliate. That was it. Affiliate SEO. Yeah, I think this was it. He was talking about like some site he made, and this is really the video that did it for me. I was like, all right, I'm gonna do it, and it works. His strategy works. I don't know what he's doing now. He's like selling all sorts of courses. I honestly haven't bought a thing from him. I think it's not useful, at least for where I am right now. So I don't, if you want to spend your own money, go for it. But I don't personally recommend buying from him just because I haven't. Anyway, but I think he's a pretty smart guy when it comes to SEO. So anyway, yeah, the strategy that he talks about is, you create supporting content, you create a post that supports that supporting content, and then it all links upwards. I have not found that to be the most effective. And there's, I think, a real logical reason as to why that's the case. And I'll show you real quickly why. So this is Chase Reiner, right? This is Chase Reiner. And I guess you could call this the Josh way of doing things, right? So it's a little bit different. So my target keyword was, is Hebrew hard to learn? Now, I don't think I'm ranked number 1 for that, so maybe I am talking out of my ass, but I know that I'm able to get a fair amount of traffic, at least in a couple of months. Maybe not as fast as he did, but still, nonetheless, I'm ranking, here above the Reddit, above the Duolingo forum and all of that. I'm ranked over here, and that's pretty nice to me. And let's take a look at the Search Console. So as you can see, it's steadily increasing, right? It's just going up, which is really nice to see. I've gotten some clicks here and there. I have about a 0.8% click-through rate for that. I think I have a higher click-through rate for other things like, how to learn Yiddish is one. And recently I've been doing pretty well with that. And I think in the last 28 days I've 5% click-through rate. That's not bad. So if you look up how to learn Yiddish, I'm ranked over here. How to learn and speak Yiddish in 2020. And I have a nice video on, the Yiddish language. Some stuff on how to actually get started, where to start, and all of that. I have to probably fix this. In fact, I should probably find new videos for this because this is not a good look. But anyway, what I wanted to talk about was this is what I did to do things to get started. So is Hebrew hard to learn, right? That's what I wanted to rank for. Here is the trick. You create a blog post. So we're going to call this blog 1. It's the same as supporting content 1, right? It's just a simple network of blogs. Blog number 2, blog number 3. I created, now if you look at kojilanguages.com, I actually have a little thing over here that says Judaic languages and modern Hebrew. So I created about 5 blogs. So we have about 5 total. I won't really label them just for the sake of time, but the idea is that you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blogs, and they all link back to the homepage with the phrase, is Hebrew hard to learn? How hard is Hebrew to learn? Is Hebrew difficult? Etc. Just variations of the key phrase. That's the anchor text. And what I did in order to get this to rank is I know Hebrew, I don't want to say I know it well. I haven't even studied it in years, but I know the language enough to mess with it. And the reason why I mention this is because if you do like affiliate SEO, or if you do marketing or SEO for your own site, like you want to start a blog, you're gonna want to pick a topic that you know. So the thing that I did was I picked a topic that I knew pretty well, and that's language learning. That's kind of my niche, and I know Hebrew pretty well. Now what I did was I went on Ahrefs, I just looked up a phrase like Hebrew, learning Hebrew or something like that, and I went to all keyword ideas. Look, this is exactly what Chase Reiner talks about, and then I just chose one of these, and I can do a whole blog on thank you in Hebrew. In fact, I'll do one right now. This is the structure I'm going to use, so I'm not going to create that new tab. So let's say we want to rank for thank you in Hebrew. What we'll do is we will go on Google, look up thank you in Hebrew. We probably won't beat Google Translate or these. This is probably here to stay. But WikiHow, Quora, these are pretty thin when it comes to content. Now they rank very easily because Google likes Quora, they like Yahoo Answers and all that. But when someone has something of substance, they're gonna usually favor that page. So what we would do is we would look, okay, thanks is toda, and then leach, I think, is to you. So like toda lecha or toda lach. I know another way to say it is like toda rabba, but anyway, I don't want to get too carried away with languages. What you would do is you would look at something like toda, like this blog over here. You just go to the word count. This is very simple, right, guys? You just go to word count. See how many words it is? It's about 1,462 words, so we'll take note of that, right? And let's say get one more. We just want to be on the safe side. We want to make sure that we know exactly what we're getting into. 1900. So 1942 words. And this is Hebrew Pod 101. So we can average this out if we want, right? 1462 plus 1942 divided by 2. So we need about 1,700 words, okay? So we need 1,700 words. And let's say we want to have a handful of images too, because we want to make sure it's engaging. So let's say 3 to 5 images. And so what you would do is we would do something like is Hebrew hard, or thank you in Hebrew. So thank you in Hebrew. And now this is what I'm talking about. This is where my strategy diverges a little bit. What I would do is I would put this in the little box cat or in the little subcategories of is Hebrew hard to learn. And so really this is not so much like what Chase Reiner says is he wants it to be like a sequence, like up like that. At least that's what he depicts. What I always think of is it should be a cycle like this. So you see, this actually could be something like blog number 7, right? And we just pass the authority around town. We just push this to each other, and then this goes to here now, and now we've got a whole cycle of pages just feeding authority to each other. That's the idea, is you're feeding authority to each and every post. It's not so much like, you start here and then you end here. Although in a sales process, that's the case usually. But when we're doing like blogging and ranking and all of that stuff, we want to make it more of a cycle. So we have a post over here, we have a post over here, we have a post over here, and we're just feeding authority by internally linking each other. And there's so many different internally linking strategies. You can do stuff like, as you can see over here, be sure to check out our other articles, Hebrew reading practice and resources, 5 Instagram accounts to follow if you're learning Hebrew, 7 best books to accelerate your Hebrew learning in 2020. You click on it, you're like, oh, okay, awesome. These are some good books. And you go down, and 5 Instagram accounts to improve your Hebrew, Hebrew reading practice, right? We're internally linking all these different blogs. So you're creating a system of just internally linking blogs to each other. And so that's the idea of ranking for these phrases. And you can then do that with other languages, or no, the other topics. So as you can see, I have a lot of articles on Yiddish. I'm about to publish my little blog about Hebrew Pod 101. Hebrew Pod 101, by the way, I briefly mentioned them. They make a lot of good content for learning Hebrew. So as you can see over down here, we have further resources. I'm going to go to each one of these and link it back to this page, and this is going to help me rank on Google. So I hope that this has been a good explanation for you guys in terms of like kind of how to actually implement Chase Reiner's SEO strategy, because I think like he talks a lot of great points, but I know that at least when I started this, I had some trouble understanding and implementing it, because what he does is he talks a lot about his examples, and I think he just kind of talks too much about his own courses and everything like that. He always says, you know, like, oh, if you check out my paid template and everything like that, which I get it, like that's how he gets his revenue and he's selling online products. But I wanted to just show you how I implemented his strategy that he gives out for free. So if you guys like this video and you guys want to see more, be sure to leave a thumbs up, comment, rate, and subscribe. And yeah, let me know if you guys have any questions and I will be more than happy to answer them.